Heather.
Hi, Dan.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, all things considered.
Yes, you've had your face iced.
I've had my face iced, yes. It looks far worse than it is, and I have some nice cream that makes it... Actually, it doesn't make it feel any different, but it doesn't. There's no pain. There is absolutely no pain. The only pain was the actual moment of the chirotherapy, so yes.
And would you like to explain to the listeners what that is? Because I went, oh, that sounds bad.
Oh, no, Google it. It's far better to Google it. I went down a deep rabbit hole on all the things that can go wrong with chirotherapy. So, yeah, no. Basically, very cold air is blasted to problem skin. I guess that's the best way to put it. So it's 6 months of healing, and then we go back and make sure everything's okay.
Let's hope it is.
I'm sure it is. Yes, I have faith. All right, what are we talking about?
I've actually had a week of... Well, I focused very much on the other podcast this week. I did 5 interviews during last week, several of them during the same day. I think I offended one person I was interviewing instantly by asking, how's the state of America? And he seemed to be a bit more pro-Trump than I was expecting.
You have to be a little bit careful, especially... Was the person you were interviewing stateside or here?
At stateside, they were in Florida, but the thing is that it was my second interview of the day, and the person I'd spoken to earlier in the day, I don't normally have these discussions until after we've recorded the episode, but I was still on a hangover from having had such a great episode earlier where we were anti-Trump and this and that, and then suddenly this guy was like, well, everything's fine here. It's not what you read in the news. And I was like, oh no, what have I said? This guy's obviously on a different side to me and the rest of the world.
I mean, he was in Florida. That's sort of a little bit of a... No offence to Floridians, but... Yes.
Are they Floridians?
They are Floridians, yes.
They're not Floridians.
No, they're not Floridians. They're Floridians.
Addicted to toothpaste.
Oh, yeah, actually, no, they're probably anti putting anything in the water there, but anyway, yes. All right, and so if you're not aware of Dan's other podcast, I'm going to plug it. It's 10,000 Hours of Indie. So go and check it out. What else? So you managed to upset somebody on your...
Well, no, I upset them before the podcast, so it was a very short interview in the end.
So summer has sort of arrived, would you say?
Well, it's supposed to disappear again this week, isn't it? It was raining this morning when I took my son to daycare.
Yes. We weren't in Helsinki. We were at the cottage for the weekend, and I understand... I mean, there it was quite nice, but I understand it was really nice in the city.
Very windy, though, yesterday.
Yeah, it was... By the time we got back, there was a bit of a breeze. But with all things summer, there's a couple of things that happen. So all the terraces, I mean... The really hardy terraces, they're open already in April as soon as the snow has disappeared. They don't wait for the streets to be swept. They put their little fences out, the tables are there, the blankets are there, and the very hardy fins are soaking up the weak rays that are coming in April. But a lot of people will wait for May when the temperatures really, really lift up. And the other thing that happens is all the farmers market. So Helsinki has, once a month, they have this market in Hakaniemi, which is sort of a farmers market. There is the usual stalls. But if you go outside the capital area, and I know we do talk about the capital area in the podcast, but if you go past, what is it?
Ring 3.
Like outside Ring Road 3. All the little towns that, especially if they have bigger summer populations, like lots of cottages and stuff, there will be some sort of weekly market, whether it's a Wednesday, whether it's a Thursday, Friday or Saturday, usually not Sundays, but yeah. The locals will gather to buy their produce and the not-so-locals will also gather to buy produce. And Helsinki Summer Market opened this weekend. Every Saturday, except midsummer, 9 until 12. So there you go, I just gave them a little plug. And then in July, they have a night market as well in the Wednesdays.
I have actually done something this weekend. I went to, actually, the next area we're going to record, I went to Turlanlahti Bay and I sat and had some beers in the park with some friends.
Did you happen to catch the tree climbing competition?
No. I was there watching lots of women who had just done the walk for the Naisten Kumpi.
Naisten Kumpi. Yeah. The 10K run. Yeah. Okay.
It seems they're all big fans of Blackpink because it was black T-shirts with pink writing, so surely that means they're following the South Korean super band.
Okay, so I only know Blackpink from, believe it or not, crossword, and I had to Google, what is Blackpink? Because I'm thinking, licorice and raspberry. Okay, so I now know that Blackpink is, how do we say it, K-pop?
They are the biggest female K-pop band in the world.
Super.
And I've seen them live.
No, really?
I saw them in London. I took my daughter there. It was her first concert.
Wow.
She's a massive K-pop fan. So, yes. I'd like to say I got dragged to it, but actually they were brilliant. So,
okay. Good stuff. Okay, so yes, the park between Finlandia and Opera, which we were talking about previously, I think it was the National Tree Climbing Competition. And actually, I was on the bus going past on Friday and I saw them setting up and thought, that looks interesting. And then that's it. I never heard anything more about it. So
no, right, I didn't see it, no.
Actually, I didn't read the paper on Saturday, so maybe there was something there about it. But
the other exciting bit of information is I'll be going to Tuska this year.
Really?
It's taken me 21 years. They gave me a ticket a couple of years ago and I couldn't actually make it because I ended up making other plans before they let me in. But they've given me a ticket really early this year, so I've got time to properly plan. I went through the bands and went, this is going to be a weekend of, my ears are going to hurt.
Okay, but, Tuska does mean pain, so there you go. You're in the right place.
I'm most excited about seeing Megadeth because this is their farewell tour. And if you don't know, Dave Mustaine was one of the original members of Metallica and they kicked him out and he went to form Megadeth, and I've always been of the opinion Megadeth are the better of the two bands. There's a few bands I really like the look of, and I'll get to complete another 5 of my 80 bands around the world while I'm there.
Well done. Good stuff. Okay, so genre doesn't matter, just as long as they're from somewhere.
Yes, exactly. But there's a band from Switzerland and a band from... Well, I haven't actually done Germany yet, so there's a German band playing.
Good stuff. That's only a month away. Midsummer... Oh, okay. No, let's stop talking. Yeah, the year is going way too quickly.
Yeah, well, there's 2 festivals before that. Hopefully one of those I'll be going to as well, but I'm not going to give too much away at the moment.
Our lips are sealed.
Well, mainly because we don't have any information. Anyway, should we let people hear our Haaga episode?
We should.
Well, we went off to Haaga a couple of weeks ago now, wasn't it? And we had a lot of walking and a lot less to see than in most areas.
Very residential area. A little bit of office space on the periphery, but very residential.
Yeah, well, let's let people hear the episode, and we'll be back with a bonus episode next week. District 29.
Indeed.
Haaga. Lots more A's.
Haaga, yes.
Actually, when I was typing my notes up, I accidentally put ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
Ha-ha. So this is District 29.
Yes.
It's quite a large area.
It is.
5.48 square kilometres, this one. Population of 27,784 as of the end of 2024. Mm-hmm. 8,021 jobs and a mass of postcodes.
Yeah, there's at least 4.
6.
6 postcodes.
6 for the area.
Okay.
Between 0300, 310, 320, 350, 400 and 440. The Huopalahti stop in South Haaga was opened in 1903. Landowner M.G. Stanius began planning a villa community around the stop, which became the Haaga Urban Community in 1906. In 1920, Haaga was transferred to the new Huopalahti municipality, which was separated from the rural municipality of Helsinki. And in 1923, Haaga was separated into its own township. It was annexed to the city of Helsinki in 1946 in a major regional merger, and after this, apartment building construction immediately began in both South and North Haaga, the latter of which is one of the oldest suburbs in Helsinki.
Indeed. Did you also know that there was support from the state, but not the Finnish state, the Swedish state funded some of the construction here? And I guess because it was post-continuation wartime, when times were quite tight in Finland, that I don't know if Sweden were feeling guilty or what the reason was, but that's something I should research a little bit more. But it was something that popped up in my notes. Now,
we're standing in your area at the moment.
We are, yes.
Which is North Haaga.
North Haaga, yes.
And how much research did you do on this area?
Okay, so not enough, because it's a huge area and a lot of stuff has happened. So I'm going to concentrate on what I think are maybe the more interesting parts for our listeners. But seeing I don't know who our listeners are because they refuse to tell us who they are, it's a bit hard to know. So please, if you listen, let us know and tell us what you think about our content.
Well, I did a little research on this area before I remembered it was your area and I looked at the thing wrong. Do you know the story about the street names?
Okay, so there's 3 sets of street names in this area. There are some that are metal related. So we've got hoppia, kuppari, so silver, copper, that sort of stuff. Then we have a lot of names that are around the Finnish, not so much film industry, but theatre. So lots of actor names, and then you've got like job titles. And then there's the other part, which is the Houseboy Uprising or the Houseboy Rebellion War, which is 1596, 1597.
Okay.
And now I can't remember. There's a particular word for this war, and now I can't remember what it is. But a lot of the names in this area are from that time. No, not from that time, but based on stories of that time. That's better.
No, I was very interested in the theatre names because obviously I have a theatre background in the UK. So seeing that I found quite interesting, and the fact that I hadn't heard of any of the actresses, because it's mainly actresses, not actors.
It's mostly actresses, but Aina Akta, you must have heard of her. I mean, she actually has a villa and a park named after her in Laajasalo.
Okay.
The Helsinki City own a house.
We haven't been to Laajasalo yet.
Not
so
yet.
I don't know that yet.
Oh, okay. It's a, I don't know, maybe if you're in the area, it's a name that you would know. Yeah.
Okay, so where are we standing now?
We are standing in front of Alppiruusupuisto, otherwise known as the Rhododendron Park. Not much colour today because we are probably 6 weeks too early.
We were so excited that we were going to get
so
this.
Excited.
It's because the blossoms are on the trees everywhere else. So we assumed an assumption is the mother of all what's known.
It is, isn't it? So actually I have some questions about the Rhododendron Park. It is actually a collaboration of Helsinki University.
Yes. Or it was. I don't think it is anymore.
Yeah, I think they're still involved. They have thousands of different varieties. They started with rhododendrons, but they have also branched out into azaleas. Oh, we have some mustika here on the left as well. So actually this area, North Haaga, sits alongside Central Park, which is the big lungs of Helsinki. All right, but let's have it's a quiz time.
Yay.
So when was the park founded? Was it 1875? Was it 1955? Or was it 1975?
I think it was 1975.
You are absolutely correct. Although Helsinki University was around in 1875, I don't know that there was much interest in rhododendrons and azaleas at that time.
I have a feeling the reason it was 1975 is originally this area was earmarked for building, but by the late 60s they have realised they weren't going to build here, and so they gave access to it in the early 70s.
Possibly, yes. Here we go. Here we have some discussion about plant breeding. So the university have a plant breeding program here, and a lot of the hybrids that they've developed are either named by the people that started developing them or they're named after the people that started developing them. And so 2022 was when they started actually really getting into the whole cultivating and crossing the varieties. We even have a Finland 100.
The first yellow-flowered Finnish rhododendron.
Yes. Okay, it's interesting. They're getting all of these plants from other places as well. That's fine. And so we have rhododendrons at ground level, although some of these are really big. They're quite massive species. And then we have pine trees that are the canopy for the area. So it's a quite sheltered space. And if we listen very carefully, I don't know if the mics are good enough, but there's a lot of birdsong today.
It's a nice day.
We are standing in front of Marjatta Koulu, or Marjatta's school, but this hasn't always been a school. So, do you want to guess what this was?
Like the windows. It's got odd windows.
It does have odd windows.
Or sort of odd leading around the windows.
Yeah, yes.
So what was it?
All right, so it's...
Old people's home?
No, not an old people's home. The opposite, in fact.
A young people's home.
Well, a young people's community house.
Okay.
But before that, it was a part of, like, Finland's defence system.
Oh, that, yeah. Okay, I kind of get that as well, yeah.
But not this building, the actual space. So this was the site of the largest shooting range in the Nordics, not just in Finland, but the whole Nordics. So I'm presuming that the houses behind weren't actually houses because they were shooting from down there up to here. 1924.
Until?
1944, I think, from memory.
This whole area was built in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah. 20 years. But there was actually, they had a nice log cabin, which was sort of like where everyone gathered. After they stopped using it as a shooting range in 1944, it became the Maya, so this sort of place that if you're having a walk, you'd stop and have coffee and pull and that type of thing. So it was
collect yourself some dead bullets.
Maybe. And then also in winter, the ski tracks were running past here. So it was a place that people would, the log cabin at the time, people would come and enjoy hot drinks and that type of thing. Then after that, the land was transferred to the city, or the city bought the land, including the log cabin, and the log cabin was used as a youth house, so nuorisotalo. Now, what happens to youth houses in Helsinki?
Burnt down.
Yes.
Well, it's only for the fact that you said what happened and you just said it was logs. So.
Yeah. So, 1974, it burnt down. I'm not casting any blame. I don't know who burnt it down, how it burnt down.
How soon after was this built?
Actually, I'm not quite sure when this was built, but this is a special school, so it's for students that need extra care, extra attention, extra teachers, that type of thing.
Right.
Actually, I'm not sure when the school was built. That good to find out.
I always have a question that messes up your note.
No, it's fine. It's all good. Runaschild This is where we are right now. But Runa is a Swedish name.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say this is one of the wilder parks in Helsinki. We've just come from the rhododendron park, which has been manicured down to the very last blade of grass. You've got the nice raised platforms and it's all very manicured and neat. This park, it's all a little bit wild and overgrown.
They've left the fallen trees.
They have left the fallen trees. They have also left the fortress building part, so that we stopped earlier and took a picture.
That's what that was. I did read about that, yeah.
So the fortification of this area was actually used by the Red Brigade and the Whites when they were fighting the Civil War. So this area was a site of some fighting. We are now going to find the burial ground of some Red Brigade soldiers. We are standing on the site of a burial ground from the 1918 Civil War. Actually, the 12th of April, there was a mass execution. 46 people were actually killed. 28 were buried here, so Red Brigade soldiers, as well as 4 Estonians. Now, the Estonians not so happy about this, so in 1920, their bodies were actually exhumed and taken back to Tallinn, so they are now buried in Tallinn.
I like these weird pistly looking things.
Okay, but you know what these are Sanniainen, these are ferns. So these are...
They've got a fern look. The top looks like a thistle.
Okay, they're about to bloom. These are in the process of uncurling. come back in a couple of days' time and these leaves will be like open in there in all their glory.
I'm not sure I'm going to come back just for these. But...
Okay. I really like ferns. I mean, these really are prehistoric plants. They look prehistoric. Dan, what can you see?
Water.
Water. Running water. Yes. Quiz time.
Oh.
We are actually standing. This is the Mata River, which is actually a channel from the Vanda River, and it ends up in Haapalahti Bay. So for a lot of the time it's above ground and then it goes underground and then pops out again. So whole length is about 9 kilometres. But what does Mata mean? Does it mean fishy or rotten? Is it slang for Vanda? Or does it mean mud?
Slang for Vanda.
No, it means fishy or rotten.
So this used to be a stinky river then?
This used to be probably used to be a stinky river, yes. But it's actually, there's this fabulous green zone that runs like back into Kaivalakso area somewhere in Vanta. It starts in Vanta and then rolls through Helsinki. And so we've got allotment area here. There's sports grounds. We're actually on the Lassila side of the Haaga, the general Haaga area. Mostly built up in the 80s and 90s, and we just came sort of through the probably more 90s, 2000 area.
Yeah.
We've got Ring Road 1 on the north. We've got the Tampere Road, makes the eastern border, and then not too far from where we're standing is the road to Vihti. So that sort of like holds the area in place. In Lassila, we have about 4,000 people living and about 2,000 jobs. So it's like a decent ratio of people working here. When I was researching this area, it was really hard to work out where the end of North Haaga began and Lassila started, because the North Haaga Library is actually in Lassila. So, very confusing.
But the whole area, we're back to the sort of boundary lines thing again, because you take the area as a whole, as all 4 parts of it, and there's always going to be crossovers and things that are in the wrong neighbourhood.
In the wrong neighbourhood, yep. So, but I mean, the post office know which the right areas are because they use the postcodes, but for everybody else, it's like, it's either on the left side or the right side of the railway line, or on this side of the street or that side of the street. Now, they started building here, we talked about this earlier, back in the 1940s, but in the 1960s, they found some ancient artefacts in the area.
Okay.
Guess how old the ancient artefacts were? Ancient. All right. Put a number on the ancient.
4 AD.
4 AD. Okay, no, older than that.
Oh, okay.
We're talking ancient.
Oh, then 3000 BC.
Keep going.
Oh, all right. Continue.
Oh, actually, no, that's about right. Between 5,000 and 6,000 years old.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about right. So what they found was some clay pottery pieces that looked like dishware, plateware. They found some quartz items as well as polished or sharpened stones. So then they did a little bit more research and trying to work out, was this actually a village where people were living, or was it somewhere like a seasonal stop? And they basically worked out that, no, this was probably somewhere where people were staying for the summer and then they moved on. Or maybe they stayed for the winter. I don't know. But it wasn't.
Stayed for the winter when it just flooded. I mean, it was probably cold back then.
I'm sure it was cold back then. But it certainly wasn't like a fixed village as such.
Right. Okay, so now we're on my half. We are in Etelä-Haaga, Södra-Haaga.
South Haaga.
South Haaga, yes. We are currently standing in Djurbergsparken. It doesn't have a Finnish name, this park.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't, no. This is just a big park. There's nothing particularly special about it.
I was going to say who or what, but nothing in particular.
Nothing in particular. I don't actually have any notes on this park, but I'll give you the notes on South Haaga.
Super.
While we're here. This was formerly the centre of the municipality of Haapalahti. A large part of the current town plan dates back to the time of the Haaga Villa town, and was originally based on the Munkaniemi Haaga plan drawn up by Eliel Saarinen in 1915, of which only a small part was implemented in the Haaga area. This was the only part that any of it was implemented.
Okay.
Despite the fact the road named after him is in North Haaga.
True.
But nothing in North Haaga was part of his plans. The apartment buildings in Haaga are mainly 3 stories and have 1 to 3 staircases. In February 2018, Haaga was one of the 5 most searched districts in Helsinki, according to the Etuovi service, because it's such a quiet family area. One thing to be noted about Haaga, and I think I deleted this because, well, I found it in the North Haaga details and then deleted it because I realised it was your area, but I should have kept that bit. There was an author who wrote a book on growing up here.
Laura Kolbe.
That's it.
Yes.
And she grew up in the 1950s.
Yes.
And she said it was a wonderful family area, very peaceful and calm, and very bilingual.
Oh.
So everybody spoke Finnish and Swedish to each other.
Nice.
Which was probably one of the last parts of Helsinki that really had that, because it was the first area to be properly built.
Yeah.
So it would have been the first area that everybody moved to in the area in the 50s.
So continuing on from what Laura wrote, she also wrote that this was sort of the beginning of the new middle class in Helsinki. So lawyers and doctors and sort of white-collar people were moving into the area.
Yeah. So it had a good infrastructure because they were trying new things here for the first time. So it was quite fascinating. Her book, unfortunately, hasn't been translated into English. It was originally in Swedish and is available in Finnish as well. I can't remember the name of the book. We'll try and remember what it's called and stick it in the socials. That's this area. So we're going to explore a little bit of South Haaga now. We are in Kauppalamppuisto, or Köpingsparken, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Köpingsparken.
So we've come to the part I haven't written notes on, but if you walk down to the bottom of this park, there's a really nice dog park.
Right.
And we are right next to the motorway now.
We are, and we can hear it.
The other side of that motorway is Kivihaka. Now, in my research for Kivihaka, I came up with pretty much nothing. It's pretty much all houses, all built around the 60s. Lots of greenfield area and stuff. We're not going to go there because there's nothing to see, really.
So no monument, no special parks?
The only special feature of that area, which is the only reason it's known, really, is that it has the location of the Finnish Red Cross Blood Service. Their headquarters there. That's about it. But let me tell you about another park, which is the one we didn't go to.
I'm all ears.
Which is Ristavori Park. It's a diverse forest and rock area covering almost 14 hectares, bordering Vihdintie. A beautiful, winding, illuminated outdoor path runs through it, which contains a wild route and ecological corridor after the railway underpass all the way to Vantaa, and on the other side to Keskuspuisto. So that is part of the green strip that you talk about.
Yeah.
So that's that. Let's talk about generally Haaga, because what we found is there's nowhere to buy coffee anywhere.
In our research, I think we realised that there's maybe one shopping strip which is over on the road side. I know
pretty much right next to the railway station.
Yeah.
We have just walked past the Tori.
Which doesn't look very Tori.
It's a large parking lot.
Yes.
A fair amount of building works in this particular area that we're in now. New builds.
New builds, yes.
And a building we couldn't work out what it was. It looks like it's closed now, but it's a very peculiar square building which doesn't look like anything else on the landscape.
So it's very, I'm going to say 1930s style, perhaps, a little bit brutalist. Big garage doors on the ground floor that could have been a fire station, but we think it's not big enough to be a fire station.
Yeah, the doors didn't seem wide enough or tall enough, did they? But it had that sort of glass door feel to it. Yeah, I mean, this area is nice for a walk, but not to go and see anything in particular. Although the one site that we are going to go and see is probably the one thing people have come and see in Haaga. We'll not mention it yet. We'll go and have a look.
I'm quite intrigued because I thought that the one thing that people came to Haaga to see was the rhododendron park. But now I hear that there is something even more interesting.
No, it's not more interesting. It's interesting for a niche group of people.
Okay.
We are in the Heroes' Graveyard.
We are. We stumbled upon this one quite by accident.
These are all Second World War dead.
Winter War, Continuation War. This gentleman, for example, this is Winter War.
I think they all are.
Winter War,
yeah.
But the date on the commemorative stone is 1944, so there must be at least some war heroes from the Continuation War as well. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 3
rows, isn't there?
And 3 rows. So
there's about 40
people.
Yeah. Pleasant/unpleasant discovery, depending on which way you look at it.
True. All right, 1941, this is Continuation War. Okay, so Winter War, and then I guess these 2 rows.
Oldest to youngest.
Continuation War. Now, 1909. So if your family fought and died in either Winter War or Continuation War, it's possible that they are buried here in the Heroes' Graveyard.
Only if they were heroes, though.
Okay.
Well, this one is Sotomirs. None of the others. A few of them are.
Sotilas, so soldier, Sotomirs.
So it's a mixture of officers and soldiers.
Yeah. All right, we've got Kersanti, so a sergeant over there.
Right.
So.
This one's nothing.
Well, maybe he was cook in the camp. Who knows?
This one was Lance Corporal.
Lance Corporal. Yeah.
STM.
I don't know.
Tukimirs.
Canon.
Sotilas Vattimesteri.
So Vattimesteri is like the watchguard.
Something master.
Yeah, watchguard, I think.
Right. These are the last ones here, aren't they? Because we're on 43, 42, 43.
So, okay, so this is Swedish gentleman.
This row seems to be the officers. The more high up officers.
But also the least well cared for stones. I mean,
at this end
that one's okay, but Winter War.
Well, they're under the trees more there, though, aren't they? I think it's probably how much cover they get, because this bit's the least covered, isn't it?
True.
There's probably somebody comes along with their gold paint every couple of years and touches them up.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so a little bit of Helsinki's military war history here in Haaga.
So what have I dragged you to, unwittingly?
A church, but actually it's a very cool-looking church, because half of it looks like an old person sort of drop-in centre, and then we've got a tower on the other side that very much looks like it's something from early 20th century. And then we have this bit here which is built
on a rock.
On a rock. Very big rock.
Would you like to know a little bit about this church?
Please.
So the small red wooden church, so basically this bit.
Right.
Of Huopalahti stands in the middle of a beautiful park in the heart of the area. Originally built for another purpose, the house was taken into use for religious services in 1917 and consecrated as a church in 1942.
Okay.
If we walk up the back, we can see it a little better.
Wow.
So this bit's the original bit here. Then obviously the end bit's been added on over time.
Yeah.
And it has the bell tower as well, which is the nice bit, I think.
So I noticed they have all sorts of activities and groups here.
Yeah.
Looks like it even might have a summer terrace, although that doesn't look like it's open today.
It's not summer yet.
I don't know, it's starting to feel a bit summery.
It's getting warm, yeah.
Wow, what a neat place.
Yeah, I thought this was worth a look.
Okay, very niche, definitely.
And then if you carry on walking round, you get the bell tower.
Oh, that's a very impressive bell tower.
It's not bad, is it? And they've got a little sunroom as well.
Yeah, very nice.
So I thought this was worth a visit.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the really nice thing about Helsinki churches. They are so varied in their architectural styles. There's some really modern ones that don't look like churches at all. And certainly from the street side, this doesn't look like a church.
No.
It's only when you see the tower. Oh, yeah, that could be a church.
So, we should pick our next area. Go on then. You messed it up last time. Pick one we couldn't have, so...
Press to spin. There we go. I don't press to stop.
No. Only if you're on a bus.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't done that one. Area 2.
Oh, no, we have not.
It's going to be a big one. Area 2 is Kluvi.
Okay, Kluvi is...
massive.
Actually, it's not that big, but there's a lot in there.
I'm looking forward to that one. It's back to the city. It's my favourite part.
Lots of... Okay, there are some things... I've got some Kluvi stuff already that I'm thinking about.
Okay, I think we've done as much of Haaga as we can discover. Now we're going to try and find a coffee before we jump the train.
Now we're trying coffee, yes.
It's a nice walk area.
It's a very nice walking area. I think if you lived here, it's the kind of place that you wouldn't want to move away from? Because
as we said when we weren't recording, this has the oldest population of any area in Helsinki, because it was built in the 50s, people moved here when it was new, and they've stuck with their houses, and it's passed down the generation, and maybe two by now.
Probably,
And it's a very calm, quiet area, to be fair.
Yeah. And, I mean, train to the city centre is, 15 minutes? So it's
less
a really...
than that, isn't it? It was about 9 minutes, I think.
Like that. So very, very easy into the city.
Yeah. Okay, thanks,
All right. Thanks, Dan.